Good evening, everyone. Join us in the chat, and welcome back to Rtg Mondays. We will be getting going shortly, no doubt. Appreciate your patience while we just wait for the last few people to join. Looks like we've got a pretty full grid this evening. 19 drivers. Looking forward to seeing what they can all manage this evening. Yeah, we're going to be the ones to watch. What's your predictions? Do get them in the chat. Just waiting for one driver by the looks of it. But yeah, if you've got any predictions, anyone that you're watching or you're supporting, get them down in the chat. We'll try react to every comment that goes in during the stream while we are live. Just waiting for one more driver. We have a very quick tier this evening. There's so many drivers out there. We alluded to this last week. So many drivers that could potentially get the race win, pole position, you name it. And so there's going to be a lot to keep an eye out for, a lot going on, and anything, literally anything, could happen. And Dan says Josh to be the slowest straight line speed. That's a good shout. I'm not sure. As a commentator, as a spectator, I will get access to view the straight line speed, the speed trap figures. But it will be something to keep an eye on, definitely. And certainly as the race comes on. What's my prediction for the top three? Oh, now you're putting me on the spot here. Wow, who have we got? It's going to be a lot. I'm going to go Chuckle to win, Lieber to come second, Josh McGill to come third. There's my prediction. Now, don't remember that, because by the time we get to the end of the race, I'm going to be mildly wrong. I can tell already. Yeah, I don't know. Chuckle keeps saying he's not very quick round here, but he was rapid in practice just now. I was racing up against him, and he had some hella good pace. It was very impressive. And I know this is one of my strongest tracks, and he was running me close on that one. So I think he's going to be sitting well on this one. Nice prediction, thank you. What about yourself, Dan? Do you have any? Who do you think is going to make the podium? Any ideas? It's a tough one to call. In fairness, there's a lot of drivers that could make it up there. Any mistakes from any one of these, you got a pool of pretty much, well, over 50% of the grid are all capable of getting on that podium. So yeah, could certainly be an interesting one as we do start to load in now, and everyone selects their tyre choice, not tyre strategies, but their tyre selection, should we say? So how many sets of what compound tyres that each driver wants. You can choose to sacrifice some softs in qualifying, so you do less runs in qualifying, and it'll give you an extra set of mediums or even an extra set of hards come the race, which could be useful. Bugatti has dropped out. He has disconnected by the looks of it loading in, so not off to a good start for him. We are back in Hungary, so it's going to be a very interesting track. This very difficult to overtake. However, it's all about keeping that speed through that final corner. If you can keep a good pace going through the last corner, you've got every chance of getting the car in front down the start-finish straight. Very good open turn one as well. It's quite wide, so it's very useful for overtaking. Quite easy to throw one up the inside, or even try hanging around the outside potentially. As we are loaded in now, we just wait for everyone to set their or put their setups on, and we're gonna keep an eye out. It looks like Josh McGill and the Mercedes going out. Bugatti has loaded back in, so he is back joining. Full grid of 20 drivers tonight, so absolutely fantastic to see. Well done, Rtg Mondays. Who is first out? It is Ethan. Ramler Haynes, as PSN is, in the Alpine. GFO Max Axis has joined once again, showed incredible pace in the last couple of races, certainly in qualifying especially. This Rapid really proved himself in the race last week, so he'll be one to keep an eye out for as well. As we see quite a few drivers now enter the track. I think that's going to be Josh McGill, yeah, taking the early lead coming out of the pits now, overtaking the Alpine, who's preferring to do a bit of a slower outlap. Absolutely fine. This track, you can warm it, especially on those hot softs. You can warm the tyres, overheat them on the front very, very quickly. So yeah, you don't want to get them too hot on the outlap, because you'll find you won't have the grip available to you then come your fast lap. You need to let them cool down a little bit. Alternatively, sometimes some people find it easier to just do an absolutely or a quick outlap, should I say, and that warms the tyres up nicely and gets them into a nice temperature window for you. But a very wide run round the last turn for Josh McGill, and we will take you on a lap of Hungary. DRS wide open down the start finish straight, not all that together that long, slightly downhill braking, brake as late as you dare, throw the car in and keep the minimum apex speed on the power as early as you can into the second DRS zone, and a very, very short straight into a blind braking zone and a long sweeping hairpin left. Very difficult to get the car turned in, and then easy to get it wrong on the power, and then flat through the right-hander. Don't get on the curb too much or you'll lose it, into a quick flick left. Drop it down a gear. Don't run wide. Don't invalidate. Don't cut the corner. It will be an easy one to see track limits on that track. And then a fast hairpin. And now we go into the slow stuff. Slow it down for this chicane. Get it through there as quickly as you can. Run the curb on the right-hand side. Throw it into the left-hand side. Fifth gear. And then suddenly back to the right-hand side as Prodigy gets himself disqualified from the session. Not sure what that's for. And then drop it down a gear to sixth and get on the power pretty much straight away. And a nice little short blast into another 90-degree right-hander. Avoid the curb on the outside unless you're feeling very brave. And then two hairpins to finish the lap, at which point your tyres are absolutely boiling and screaming for mercy through this final corner, which goes on forever. You need to get on the power halfway around the corner as much as possible up to the line. And that is a 15.9 and a great banker lap for the Mercedes. Who else have we got on laps? We've got quite a few drivers potentially coming around. Wanted Noob has invalidated, I think. There you go. Danny goes into third, quite a way off the pace. Same with Pippo, who said a lap a little way off the pace at this moment in time. We have an Alpine of Ethan, I think, but we're going to keep an eye on Liebert around the final corner, because he'll be one to watch. His pace is electrifying, and this looks like a pretty good lap, and it is neck and neck with him and Josh McGill. Josh McGill just getting the edge on that first run. I'm sure Liebert won't mind too much. It's still early doors. Chuck on an out lap. Chuckle also on lap. He's coming through the final corner. What's his time going to be as he comes across the line? This is looking a little bit slower. Yeah, 16.4. He's in the ballpark, but not quite there. Anyone else on a potential lap? I think there was Cameron Poulter when it came across the line. It certainly was 16.6, just behind Chuckle there. As who else is worth noting? Nice job. Goes purple in sector 1. He will be one to keep an eye out for as well. Oh, but he's got very, very deep into that chicane. That is not ideal from the AlphaTauri driver. There's yellow flags in sector 2. I think that's just drivers slowing down a little bit to get out of the way of other people. We're going to keep on board with the AlphaTauri, see what they can manage. And into the final couple of corners, the AlphaTauri goes round this final corner. It's a good line through there on the power as early as you can. Probably not pushing the limits as much as you could there. It's a 17.2. I'm sure he's going to be very disappointed with that, but he is on mediums, in fairness. I've only just noticed that. The tyre graphic saying he is on a medium, so when he bolts on a set of softs, he's going to be pretty much there or thereabouts, you would imagine. Chuck set a pretty decent lap as well. and slotted into P4. So the McLaren's running 3 and 4 right now. It's going to be a good result for them. Paul Jones on an out lap, GFO also on an out lap, Naismith potentially on a lap, as is Ethan and Cunningham, who I believe a set that's been validated or something. I know Ethan was on a lap earlier, but he hasn't registered on the board as setting a lap. Through sector 1 the Ferrari goes. I'm going to jump back with his teammate though, Paul Jones Jr., because he'll be one to watch, and I would certainly expect to be up there. He's not taking the wide line approach like we saw Josh McGill do earlier, just to try and gain a couple of extra mile an hour down this start-finish straight. Really gains you very little, but it might just gain you that a little bit, and this is such a close tier, it could be worth doing in through turn 1. Look neat and tidy enough. Get it stopped on the brakes, throw it in with quite a lot of speed, just pull second gear temporarily and then back up to third and fourth as quickly as you can and on the power, and then shooting down the hill, keeping that speed going out as much as you can. And this track all about taking massive entry speed, getting the car turned in, but also then getting on the power as early as you can. It really is one of those awkward tracks that's a little bit deep in through the chicane from Paul. He's not running the curves as much as he can. A little bit of a wiggle, the back end unsettling a bit as he's turning that car in. Once again on the exit, just running a bit wide and on the curb. Not 100% on this lap. He's not able to commit fully to it. Allegedly a purple middle sector, but we'll yet to see on that one. And that was neat and tidy. He's just reining in a little bit, and then in through the last couple of corners he goes. And round the final corner he goes. That's a decent line through there. Not using all the curb, but should be an okay banker lap, and it certainly is good enough to see him into P5 currently. We got Chuckle on a lap, Lieber on a lap, and Josh McGill also on a lap. Josh, should we see where he is in the middle split? Oh, he's run very wide and he's invalidated, and that's going to be his middle lap out of the way. Liebert's also invalidated, so he's not going to improve on this lap either. So this could hand the advantage over to those not far behind. Oh, and Chuckle has gone round just a bit too early on the power, and that rear has let go on him. That is unfortunate for the McLaren as he fights to get out of the way of the cars following, and I'm sure he's going to be gutted with that. Cameron also has decided to have a little bit of an off in the middle sector, and he tries valiantly to get out of everybody's way. Anyone else on a particular lap? I don't think. Danny could be on a lap in the Red Bull. Shows good turn of speed, does Danny. So he could be good to keep an eye on. He's down in Sector 1, which is not great. There's an Aston Martin going quite slowly just up ahead. And there it is, getting out of the way. And that's not the racing line, Danny. I've got to be honest with you. Although it is a Red Bull racing line, as we found out on the weekend at Jeddah. If you were watching the Grand Prix, you'll know what I mean. Both Red Bulls cutting corners where they can, absolutely, to try and gain advantage. Lieber possibly going for a second push lap here, running extremely close to that curb there, and absolutely up to track limits. He does have a... Oh, he's gone off. I was going to say he's in the dirty ever car ahead, and he just lost the rear end on the entry to that absolutely flat out right-hander in the middle sector, and he just couldn't hold it. And are you actually joking? I'm not being funny. This is utterly